Well, week 16 in the books for the Cincinnati Bengals. First game officially since being eliminated from postseason contention. And we get just about the best performance from this team that we've seen all year. Skinny, where was this? Granted, yes, it was against the Dolphins with Quinn Ewers in at quarterback, who also have nothing to play for. But, I mean, what do you take away from this game that finally we had a complete game?
Well, one thing I think the main takeaway is whatever fears we all had about Joe Burrow and whatever's going on with him and that performance against Baltimore, where he had his second worst single game performance passer rating wise at 58.2, can probably be put to rest. We're all going to psychoanalyze that from now till the end of time, probably, but hopefully that's just the outlier that it looks like it's going to be. Because today he goes 25-32 for 309, 4 touchdowns, and a pass rating of 146. So he showed that he's the Joe Burrow of old. I think that's positive step one. I think the other part to it is this is listen, everybody who's a fan, those in the organization, players, coaches, everybody should certainly enjoy this win. You went and earned it. Defense played complimentary football for a change, creating turnovers, taking advantage of those turnovers. Chase Brown continues to show he's an emerging weapon when you can allow him to be that emerging weapon. But if I'm the bank, don't let any of these last three games fool you into what you got to fix because there's still a lot of things to fix, and that's what I fear is. To your point, today was great. It was great for everybody involved, and they looked like a playoff caliber team, albeit against a team that's not very good, starting a rookie quarterback. They dominated that game. That doesn't happen in the NFL very often. But man, I fear that it's going to happen against Arizona. They're going to wrap it up the same way against Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. And it's going to be, okay, see, we had Burrow back. The band was back together. We had all three of our main guys back for the last few games. Look what we did. Defense is coming on. Don't get fooled. Please don't get fooled. And that's my fears that they're going to get fooled.
Want to go back to your first point that you mentioned about, putting the fears to rest about Burrow. I think it just shows you, number one, the NFL is a crazy league. I mean, these are professionals. Like we put, obviously Joe Burrow is one of, if not the best quarterback in the league, and he's put on a pedestal. Everyone is due for a bad day,
Sure.
and he's human. And then today he showed how great he is with how he played. Want to get into the defense before we get into, that third quarter offensively. Let's talk a little bit about defense first because, we rag on them a lot. A lot of it deservedly so, but now that they played the way that they did, especially in that third quarter with those three turnovers, want to start off, Battle forces the fumble. Miles Murphy jumps on it. Miles Murphy, he's been showing a lot of promise these last few games to go forward with into next year. Want to get your opinion on how they played. We saw Shamar Stewart back in the lineup. He had some good disruption, had a tackle for loss, had some other good plays as well. Want to get your thoughts on that whole defensive performance.
Yeah, I mean, there were times in the first half I thought, what are you doing? This rookie quarterback's carving you up. The Geno Stone missed tackle on the Devin A. Chain touchdown was embarrassing. I mean, it was almost like he didn't want to touch the guy and tackle him, and it felt like, here we go again. I mean, this is what we've seen for a good chunk of this year. And in the second half, you do have to give them a lot of credit. Jordan Battle. Sometimes turnovers are luck, right? Like quarterbacks will throw the ball right to a guy just because he rookie doesn't see it. I mean, Jordan Battle's fumble, he created the fumble. Miles Murphy is rushing the passer at that point and then has to turn around and hustles down the field to go recover the fumble. What a great hustle play by him. Josh Newton makes a great play on the
Mhm.
pass that he tips in the air or at least forces the ball to go up in the air, and Barrett Carter hustles to go catch it. And then Jalen Davis one-on-one with Jalen Waddle, one of the top 30 wide receivers in the NFL. He's a very good player. And Jalen Davis is caught one-on-one, stride for stride, and comes up with the interception. That was probably not a great ball by Quinn Ewers, but maybe he thought Waddle was going to win the one-on-one against a guy named Jalen Davis and thought, well, I'm taking my chance here. And Davis makes a really nice play there. And then they haven't done this very often this year, the whole complimentary football thing, right? Where you get a stop. They got the 4th-and-1 stop as well, where you get a stop or you get a turnover and they don't take advantage of it. Last week against Baltimore, Jan, remember, they were inside Baltimore's 33-yard line, 5 different possessions in that game and came away with that number of points. And so today, to take advantage of that, kudos to both sides of the ball to play complimentary for a change because it just hasn't happened much this year.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about before I said we would get into the offense after this, but one more thing on the defensive side. You brought up Geno Stone's missed tackle early on the HN touchdown. Want to go to the second half. The linebackers, Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight, they have been a talking point throughout the year with how they played. But there was one play that caught my eye with Knight, and obviously HN is one of the best in the game, one of the fastest. You know, he can make you miss tackles easy. The play after Shamar Stewart's tackled for loss, he broke about a 5, 6 yard run to the right. And Demetrius Knight did a great job getting a hold of his leg and bringing him down. And I was like, that's the kind of stuff that we have to see more of, and hopefully we will see more of. And that gives us a little bit of hope moving into the future for Demetrius Knight to be a leader of this defense. What have you seen from him, today and in the last few weeks, especially?
He had the 2 sacks last week in the
Yep.
in the Baltimore game. One of them on, and it's probably a compromise physically, Lamar Jackson, but still, I mean, he was 1-on-1 with Lamar Jackson out in space. The kind of play that Lamar Jackson makes everybody in the NFL look embarrassingly bad and look very much like he's a man among boys. Demetrius dropped him. I mean, dropped him on the spot. And obviously had another sack in that game. And I think that's the part of the thing. For they have so much to overhaul in defense. The thing you have to hope is that these rookie linebackers just continue to evolve. It's not perfect. It's still not always pretty. They still do wrong things. I mean, there was a play where Barrett Carter, I thought, could have made a play on a wide receiver and just could never catch up and get the angle to make the tackle on him, and took a bad angle. But just keep banking these reps, keep flashing, and then take this whole off season to kind of look back and review and hit the ground running, because I think that's what they've rolled the dice on, is that these are our two linebackers for the next handful of seasons. They have to continue to improve, and you hope they do. I mean, I know they're rookies, but now you're deeper into your rookie year, and good for both of them. They've started to make some plays.
Now let's get into the offense. Looked again like what we expected. Obviously, shutout last week. Today they come out 45 points on Miami on the road. Chase Brown with the hat trick in the third quarter alone. What have you seen from him? And having him in the passing game. Zach talked a little bit about it after the game as well, saying he's a sort of an underappreciated asset in the passing game to open things up. If they can get Chase Higgins, then Chase Brown is kind of that utility guy in the passing game as well with the running game. I mean, what can this offense do?
I mean, I think you saw today when the band's all together, it's a dynamic offense, and it's still, even with an offensive line, they could use probably a personal tweak or two, especially at the right guard spot. They gave up a couple of sacks today, but one of them was a free blitzer came up the middle. Joe tried to sidestep him and ran right into another guy for a sack. Can you put that on the offensive line? I don't know. I mean, the free blitzer came, and that's who Joe's responsible for, and he tried to get away from him. So I think the offensive line has played better as the year's gone along. Again, it could use another body, but otherwise, I mean, this offense, as it is right now, I think is still very dynamic. I mean, you have a top-notch quarterback. When T. Higgins is in the game, you saw what he can do with a couple of the catches he made today. Jamar Chase doing Jamar Chase things, and then Chase Brown continued to emerge. I truly believe that an off-season tweak for them, maybe, or at least point of emphasis, would be finding ways to get Chase Brown more touches in games. I think the more he touches the football, especially if you can get him in space in the passing game, the more dynamic your offense is. That's just one more. As much as we always talk about, teams try to take away Jamar or maybe double T on a play, all those things. You had one more weapon that people have to worry about, matchup problem that people have to worry about, the even better your offense is going to be. And I think you saw it on full display today.
Yeah, and going off of that, the Bengals, they obviously don't run the ball a lot. I think they are 28th or 29th in the league in terms of rushing yards per game
Yep.
with under 90. But when you look at the numbers for not just Chase, but P. Ryan as well, they're both over 4 yards per carry. I mean, those are good running back numbers. They just don't run the ball enough for people to respect the running game more. So like you said, if they can start to incorporate a little bit of that more next year, then you have, the rookie Taj Brooks as well. You have to expect him to start to get more involvement as well in year two.
I know Joe Burrow doesn't like being under center, right? I know he doesn't like turning his back to the defense, but I think the more I think you can go to play action stuff way more often. I think he's going to have to find a comfort zone in that of, hey man, if we're going to run the ball well, the things I can do off of play action because of that, I think opens up a whole new level. And I hope they explore all of those things in this offseason to try to do some more of that kind of stuff.
Well, obviously today it was good to see the win and the team win, I should say, on both sides of the ball, complementary football, but it's also a double-edged sword because now you get that fifth win. I haven't checked where they go in the draft order now, but they're surely going to be outside of the top 10 now. They're going to be probably looking at around 13 or 14 where they stand right now. Still 2 games left. It's a double-edged sword. Do you want to end up right in that 19 range, 18, 19, like you have in the last few years, or do you want the higher value pick?
Well, fans want the higher value pick for sure, but I think Zach kind of addressed that this week. If they're trying to win every football game they play, and I fully understand that. I mean, uh, I'm sure the plane ride home tonight is probably a pretty raucous, happy plane ride. They haven't had very many of those this year, and they earned it today. So I get where fans go with that, but I don't think anybody who plays the game at that level ever has a thought of we're just going to tank today. It's just not a reality.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of these guys, I shouldn't say a lot, but there will be some that aren't
Fighting
on
for
the team
jobs,
again next year.
right?
They need a job. They have to
Yep.
perform.
No question. You're putting out tape, maybe not just for the Bengals to keep seeing, but for other
Mhm.
teams to keep seeing as well.
Absolutely. So the Bengals get the win 45-21 on the road in Miami. They're back home the Sunday after Christmas, taking on the Cardinals in the second to last game of the season. We're running out of these, Skinny. I'm going to miss you.
I miss you too, Jan. I like these Zoom conversations on Sunday nights.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Skinny. That'll
You
do
bet.
it for this week's game rack up recap. Oh, man, I can't speak.